Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays kids more worried about the
What's up guys, JNO here, and we are looking at my lineup in Fantasy Premier League, and this is the third draft for the start of the season, which is only about 2 weeks away, probably even 1 week away by the time I put this out. So let's have a look at the lineup I've got and let me explain myself, as I always do, to why I'm picking these players. First of all, we have Pantamillion and Fabianski in goal. Now literally last season these were two of the highest scoring keepers. With the bonus point system changing, I think these two will be up there again. They have kind of solid defences, but the thing is they get a lot of saves in a game. And with those saves come the points, and it has been proven last season that you don't need the premium price goalkeepers to get the big points in this position. So I'm sticking with Pantamillion and Fabianski, even though they don't rotate perfectly. Those are the two choices I've got in goal, and yes, it's 10 million, but really for a decent goalkeeping lineup, 9.5 to 9 is about as low as you can go. So I figured I'll spend that extra million just to make sure I have two good shot stoppers that I know will get game time in there. Okay, in defence we have Azpilicueta, or Dave, purely because at the moment I feel Terry and Ivanovic are just slightly out of the price range I need to get a solid team for 100 million. Now if my team value improves, then I might be getting those boys in, Terry and Ivanovic, because I do believe they will outscore Azpilicueta, but for 6 million, a Chelsea defender, and Chelsea always have a pretty decent defence, I think that's a bargain. With him I've got O'Shea, Francis and Robert Huth and Cedric. Cedric from the Southampton defence because I hope that they will be as solid as they were before. Even though they have lost Klein, they won't have Bertrand at the start, and they didn't manage to get Toby Alderweireld. He's gone to Tottenham, but I'm hoping for that back line, which was so strong last season, it will still be just as strong despite the loss of players, just like it was the season before. They lost players then, and the defence still brought out clean sheets, still got the points, and 5 million to get into that defence. I thought I had to go for it. The other three are cheaper, but Robert Huth in the Leicester defence, hopefully they'll be as strong as they were near the end of the season, and Robert Huth has that threat when he's in the box from corners to score some points. I think a full season at Leicester he'll outscore Wes Morgan, that's my personal belief. Damien Francis, he does play at Bournemouth, but he's one of the most attacking defenders they have, and if I play the fixtures correctly, hopefully he will be scoring me points. And then finally O'Shea. Sunderland have proven that they have a decent back line. My only worry is if that does seem to slip for some reason, I have both O'Shea and Pantamillion from the same club, and that could hurt me. But I could always counteract that by playing one or the other. But yes, I might have to look at that before my next draft of team, before the season kicks off. Then we come to the midfield, and I'm worried about the midfield purely because I feel like to get near the top you may need Sanchez and Hazard. But if one of them doesn't have a great season, you need to be ready to chop and change, and there's so many potential midfielders that could score big points. Now I'm putting my money on Hazard still scoring the big points. Sanchez, there's so many options in that Arsenal midfield. I know he's not going to start, but I still feel like I need that Arsenal coverage, which is why I've got Ozil at the moment. And then we've got Silva. Man City and Arsenal both score lots of goals, so I believe they're going to be in the points. But my problem is, how am I going to get Sanchez in? And with the front line, how am I going to get Aguero in? That's the worry for me. Which elite midfielders do I pick? And I'm not 100% sure yet which ones I'm actually going to go with. But with them I do have Wanyama and Sermon, two 4.5 million cheap midfielders. Wanyama will score points. He won't score big points, but he'll score points. And Sermon, he's a kind of attacking minded in that Bournemouth team, and at 4.5 million I think he's a decent choice for someone who might score me some points if he plays against weaker opposition. Now if the team value goes up enough, I will be getting Matt Ritchie there instead, and we'll see what happens between now and the start of the season. It'll probably change, but that is the midfield I'm going with. And then finally we have the front line. We have Sakho, Rooney and Pele, or Pella. Pella is having a decent pre-season. I still think he's going to lead the front line for Southampton, and I'm basing this off the fact that he had a great start last season. So I think he might be one of those players that starts off the season strong and then dies off. And I need a strongish forward up there with Wayne Rooney. I believe Wayne Rooney will be played up front, and I believe with Depay just behind him, with him as the main striker, he will be getting points like he used to in fantasy football. But that being said, I am keeping my eye on the Aguero situation, and for the very first game week I will not be making any transfers. So from then on I should have 2 transfers in case I need to do something a bit tricky to get Aguero in. And then we have Sakho. Now I'm basing this off the fact that I think West Ham are going to be more attacking. They brought in Payet, or Dimitri Payet, I may have said that wrong, who is a great assist machine and chance creator. And I'm hoping Sakho will still lead the line and have a spell, or a prolonged spell, similar to some of the spells he had last season. And then that is basically it. That's the team. But as I said, so much can change between now and the start of the season. I'll be watching the Community Shield, and that could change so much. If Theo Walcott is played up front, then Theo Walcott may be a necessity for anyone wanting to be in the top of the Fantasy Premier League tables. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sure I'll catch you next time with another version of this team. If you've enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. See you later.